Hey, what's up everybody? If you're one of the few that saw my previous video on this modification on installing a clock dash, basically a clock instrument cluster into your non-clock hardbody, I've taken that video down because this one's going to be more thorough even though it's a short video. There's my big empty hole. Here's the cluster that I got from my donor, which is my 95 Pathfinder out there. That one's getting parted out. So mine, like I said, I didn't have the clock. This one does have the clock. I wanted the clock in it. That's it right there. I was hoping after you plugged everything in with the 4 plugs, that being 1, 2, 3, 4, the clock would light up, but it didn't. So neither does the clock light up, nor the light for it doesn't light up when you turn on the lights for the dashboard. So first thing you got to do is remove the 4 clips right there. Pretty easy. Just kind of push them in and very carefully remove it. So that exposes you to this. My needles are nice and painted, restored everything. So back here, 1, 2, 3, behind the tachometer. Pull those out. Those are those 3 screws right there. Then this lifts away. Alright? That exposes you to the clock. You got to give power to the clock. Up here on the clock, on the northeast corner, right here. The one closer to that screw right there, that terminal right there, you've got to solder a hot wire into that. That will feed your clock power. So this is a negative, and this is negative and positive. On the back side, when you remove it, you will see physically it says negative and positive. So weld a wire onto there, solder a wire, and just have it kind of out. What I did was I ran a spade and I tapped into my hot wire that's constant right here, this yellow plug. On the back side, you've got a pink, you've got a yellow. The pink is constant. So I ran a tap. See that? That tap will receive my spade. So that will fire up my clock full time. And that's what I want, because you want the clock on the whole time so it stays accurate. So that's got to be on all the time. As far as the lighting goes, the light did not work once again when you turn on the dash lights. So what I did was on the back side, I found what turns on when you hit the lights. So these are your cluster lights right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are T10s. So this one is hot when you turn on the switch for the lights. This one needs to be hot for your clock. So I soldered a wire from there to there. So now when this fires on, that's going to feed that one, and that's going to fire on. So that's how that works. Let me put everything back together, show you what's up. All done. Check it out. So without turning on the lights, let's see here. There's the clock working. 8:40 right now. So turn on the lights. There we go. And of course I changed it to LED. Oh, let me show you actually what LEDs to change to. There's my parting out Pathfinder. What LEDs to change to. So the small ones, you have T5s. These are all the colored ones, which I don't really use. But these are the ones you want. You want the light to be thrown forward. So these are the T5s you want for the small ones. For the large ones, those are T10s. Those are these right here. You don't want these. You don't want these. These are okay for like signal markers and side markers. Those are fine. But for an instrument cluster, get yourself these. These do a much better job of throwing the light forward, and you get better illumination on the panels for your tachometer and speedometer. Why am I not focusing? But these are the ones you want. So yeah, right on. And for my super bright reading lights, I changed the T15. So it's a T10 insert, but it's a T15, so more light on the reading light. So, and these are the ones that come out. These are the T5s that come out, basic ones, and then these are the 10s that come out. So we'll be taking these out and going LED if you want to do what I did. So there's my truck. These are the super bright LEDs that I changed. These are T15s on the reading light. Right on. And then there's a cool mod that I did last year. So HVAC was way too, radio was way too low. So I switched it with HVAC up here. HVAC is now down there. This hardly gets touched, as you know. You touch the radio all the time. You want it a little bit higher. So you want to see that video? It's in another video of mine. Just check back in my history. Right on. Thanks for watching.